Hello, today for review I've got not new, not recently released player. This player exists on market for quite a long time, but it is one of my most favorite pieces of hardware, one of my most reliable friends, my constant testing reference source. It is Astell Kern 320. Model was presented I don't know how long ago, but at least a year, maybe even more. And when new lineup of Astell Kern consists of 300, 320 and 380 were released, I've listened them all, and actually I preferred 320 the most sonically, even without taking even without taking price into relations. In my opinion, 320 sounds better than 380, even if we don't pay attention to the price. So let's look at 320 in more details. I'm not sure how long will this player be supported by Astell Kern, but actually Astell Kern didn't discontinue their players fast. You can still purchase their old flagship 240, and I think they will sell their current flagship 380 for quite a long time, despite they've recently presented their new flagship Ultima 1000. So this player costs $1,600 with discounts. It's available in some shops, and I think it is one of the best players you can purchase. It's built using dual AK320 DAPs. It's artificially limited in resolution. It doesn't support 32 bits as far as I remember, and it supports only 24 bits and 192 kHz. But actually I think it's more than enough for almost any listener. So box is simple with stylish polygraphy. Here listed briefly some main features of this player, what's inside. You can remove outer wrap. Lot of attention is paid to details. Here we located player itself. I've already removed it as usual. And here is interesting two sides box. Here you will get micro USB cable and two extra plugs to cover micro SD slot. In this part there were some different manuals, warranty cards, and nice Fox leather case. Maybe it's real leather, but I'm not sure actually, because real leather case Astell Kern sold separately for $120. So here is player itself in its case. As you can see, accessory set is basic, but it's enough for the player. So build quality of course is perfect. As you can expect from Astell Kern, it's absolutely perfect both design wise and quality wise. Its player is made of aluminum with all these great bevels, edges, textures. It fits nicely in hand, it feels very solidly built, and it looks really astonishing. Front panel is almost all covered with touch screen, pretty good, but I will cover the screen later. On the bottom there is common for Astell Kern sensor back button. You press here and player goes back. Here is proprietary contacts for dock stations and for amplifiers that you can clip to this player, and the micro USB slot for charging and to access files. Here is playback control buttons. On the upper side there is headphones output and balanced output, 2.5 mm. Astell Kern managed to make it standard. And the on-off button combined with screen off and lock button. As you can see, back panel is made with nice texture. And here is volume wheel. It rotates perfectly with good clicks, very solidly, without any issues, and it not shaking, not rattling, doesn't produce any noise, so it's almost perfect. And here is micro SD slot. Player has 64 GB of built-in memory, if I remember it right, and it supports any micro SD card. So let's turn it on. Player uses highly modified Android operation system. There is no traces of actual Android, so I'm not sure for 100% if this is Android, but I read over internet that this OS is used here, but covered with custom launcher and without ability to install your custom applications. So it boot ups, and here we can see familiar actually shell common for Astell Kern players. Here is a list of all songs, albums, artists, genres, playlists, folders and store. In the store there is Groovers Plus, Move and Tidal, common streaming media applications. So once again, how sensor back button works. UI is pretty good, it's optimized for finger control, it's really well thought, it works flawlessly, no hiccups, no issues, nothing. There is drop down menu with all you can expect, with different mode selection, screen brightness and so on. Actually screen is pretty bright, it has enough brightness for even to operate under direct sunlight, so everything as you can expect. Here is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Astell Kern Connect proprietary protocol. You can turn on equalizer, gapeless playback, equalizer. You can select here is parametric equalizer, you can save your presets and so on and so forth. There are a lot of possibilities to modify sound, but actually I prefer to turn it off. And all common settings, so nothing extra fancy, but everything that you can expect from well-built player is present. It supports Wi-Fi, so you can listen to your music over Tidal and so on. Actually, it is one of the most mature and most best and one of the best built firmwares. Here is the case that came in accessory set of this player, and also I forgot to mention that in accessory set we included 2 protective films for the front screen and 2 for the back panel. So case is also stylish, it's good, player fit in this case perfectly, and actually as you can see it looks stylish. So stylish case for stylish player, it perfectly matches style of this DAP. As for battery lifetime, it's not pretty long. This player works about 7 hours and 10 minutes in my usual test using Mi Audio P1 as a load from single-ended output. And charging time is about 3 hours, so actually it's not longest living player, but I think it's okay for this sound quality that you have. I can sacrifice some lifetime. But the most interesting thing, of course, in Astell Kern and in all other players, it is sound quality. So it's not the most powerful player, it's not powerful at all. Of course, it's not as weak as, for example, Sony ZX1 and ZX2. It has more driving power, if I remember right. Its output voltage is 2 volts RMS, but it's not enough power to drive some full-size cans with sensitivity, with average or less sensitivity. If you want to use it with some big cans which require more power, you can attach amplifier module created for Astell Kern 380. It will fit also this model and it will give much more power, but size is bigger and this model costs itself $600. If you want to drive some big full-size cans, actually I can suggest you buying Astell Kern Can. It's not expensive and it sounds simpler, but it has more driving power and it has about 14 hours of lifetime. It's a new player in the Astell Kern lineup. I've made a review, link will be put in description, and it's pretty interesting device. But let's return to 320. As I've said before, it is to my ear the best sounding Astell Kern player. There is so-called Astell Kern sound. It's hard to describe if you didn't hear it, but I will try. Actually, I call it fluid or liquid sounding. One note transitioned to another very fluently, very like liquid flow, but all notes are perfectly clear and you can hear all attacks and decays, so it's really pleasant and it adds some wow effect to the music. It's most noticeable on mid frequencies, and I call this coloration Astell Kern coloration because I don't know another name for that. So 320 to my ears has most most reasonable amount of this coloration. 380 has more of this Astell Kern sound, and it sounds sometimes not really natural for me. This sound of 380 is really wow, really engaging, really funny, with a lot of interesting nuances, but it sounds artificially, and on some orchestral works, for example some vocal music, I can definitely hear this coloration and it became boring. While 320 has less of that coloration, but it sounds more natural to me. Astell Kern 300 has also less of this coloration and it's too dull to my ears actually. So this player is tailored for IEMs and it's perfect with them. It has almost no background noise, providing very good black background, so with good highlight of sounds appearing on this black background. It's really impressive. Bass is pretty fast, with just a small, really tiny small accent on mid bass, but not big. Sub bass is bit rolled off, but I think it is best option for natural music, because a lot of sub bass really sounds unnatural. Bass is fast, well textured, good layered, so it's sound really impressive. Mids I've described it before. They have this Astell Kern coloration and fluid sounding. They are perfect. Imaginary stage is big and wide with good layer separation, so it's pretty nice. Treble has good detalization, good attacks, decays, so actually it sounds very mature, very interesting, very fun, without any issues. I think one issue is lacking of power, of course, but it's player created for the IEMs mainly, and it works perfectly with them. And a few words about pairing with different IEMs. This player is created for high-end, for the most expensive and the best IEMs in the world, and of course among IEMs I've got, the best result is with Noble Audio Kaiser & Core. It is absolutely astonishing IEMs that with perfect sound, with balance and tonality absolutely matching to my taste, with best representation that you can imagine. I will create a review soon, really soon. I'm waiting to get an inspiration to describe them, but I will do a review. Another good option which is more affordable, it is, for example, Campfire Audio Andromeda. It is natural monitoring sounding multi-driver IEMs, which sounds perfectly. It showcases this lows and fluent mids of this player and sounds really nice. Another interesting option that I've tried with this player, it's 64 Audio U12. It is smooth IEMs with interesting representation. They are very spacious with good wide imaginary sound stage, and they highlight mids of this player. Together they show good synergy. Another great option if you are limited on money, it is new Dunu DK3001. It is there for driver hybrids with good bass, goes low, with nice lively mids that showcase mids of this player and good treble representation. If you are even more limited on money, if the buying of this player cut a huge hole in your budget, you can select Rivetti's New Primacy, another good hybrid IEMs sounding really nice and engaging and very solidly with this player. So here is a few options that I can recommend for this Astell Kern, for example. So it's probably my favorite player. I like it despite some minor features and despite its high price, because it gives me really engaging, fun, lively sound. So I've tried to describe it and showcase it to you. Thank you for attention.